having served as faculty at the ICWA. An All India rank holding chartered accountant, he is also cost accountant and company secretary with a keen desire to teach and train. Shankaram is excited about changing the face of the test prep landscape in India. So it's something great to hear all about Mr. Shankaram. Thank you so much for being with us. It's a great honor for Aliaskin School seeing you educating and empowering the youth of India. May God bless you and wish you all the best. And now the platform is for you. Thank you so much. May God bless you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Hamidullah. I'm extremely overwhelmed and I'm extremely excited with the way in which the whole...
Thank you so much for being with us. It's a great honor for Aliaskin School seeing you educating and empowering the youth of India. May God bless you and wish you all the best. And now the platform is for you. Thank you so much. May God bless you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Hamidullah. Can I start? I'm extremely overwhelmed and I'm extremely excited with the way in which the whole...
Thank you so much for being with us. It's a great honor for Aliaskin School seeing you educating and empowering the youth of India. May God bless you and wish you all the best. And now the platform is for you. Thank you so much. May God bless you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Hamidullah. Can I start? I'm extremely overwhelmed and extremely excited with the way in which
Sheikh sir.
Being with us, it's a great honor for Aliaskin School seeing you educating and empowering the youth of India. May God bless you and wish you all the best. And now the platform is for you. Thank you so much. May God bless you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Hamidullah. Can I start? I'm extremely overwhelmed and extremely excited with the way in which
Sheikh sir.
Being with us, it's a great honor for Aliaskin School seeing you educating and
Thank you very much. In fact, I'm extremely overwhelmed and I'm extremely impressed with the way in which the whole thing has been organized. Mr. Hamidullah, I remember we spoke about, I think about a month and a half ago in great detail, and the way in which may I request others to be on the mute, please, so that I'm not disturbed. Okay. So I was extremely impressed by the way in which the conversation between us went on. Okay, and I knew that the institution which you are heading will definitely be one of the best institutes in KSA. And the way in which everything is organized, I'm sure that it is the best. Okay, I have now got no more doubts about it. Thank you, Mr. Hamidullah. In fact, I should thank Ms. Asha Cherian also, who has taken a lot of pains to organize, who has been interacting with me for the last few days. A nice welcome speech by Ms. Soumya, and the prayers and all those things by Bilal, Saeed and Zahreen were very heartwarming. Thank you very much. So let me straight away start with what I have to say. I may take about 40 to 45 minutes. The whole idea is I will try to give an idea, overview of what the students of commerce should be looking at. And thereafter, I will start taking some questions in the end. So for the first 40, 45 minutes, I would rather it will be a monologue where I will only be talking. And then we'll open up for any questions. The questions can either be orally asked to me, or it can perhaps be even put on the chat where I can see. So before any further loss of time, let me start off. Now, as Mr. Hamidullah was saying, it's a fact that it's raining cats and dogs here. It's extremely, it's with a lot of, at the back, I could still hear a lot of sound of the wind and all those things. We are having a storm in Chennai right now. I hope that there is no power outage and all those things. In case there is any interruption, you have to give me a couple of minutes for me to switch over, and then I'll come back into the line. I'm only keeping this as a sort of a fallback. I don't expect any sort of a hitch or any interruption, but in case there's an interruption of the power or the internet, you have to give me just a couple of this thing. I hope you are able to hear me. Are you able to hear me? Yeah, thank you.
Yes, yes.
Can I share my screen, please? Just a minute. I think you have been disabled, so somebody should permit me. I should be made a host so that I can share the screen. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. So I will keep the screen open, and I will whatever thoughts I have, I'll go through with the screen. Okay. First and the foremost, again, I repeat, in fact, a few things which Mr. Rahmatullah has said is what I am also going to repeat. The first and the foremost is something that you students, you have another maybe 4 or 5 years, 4 or 5 months before your board exams are going to start. And then you are no longer a school student. Please understand, your school student, the life as a school student is going to end. It's going to end in another 4 or 5 months' time. Okay. Now, therefore, it is now the right time for you to think of what you need to do. I remember one a gentleman, a person, in fact, he's no more. His name is Martin Luther King Jr. He was a great, he was an American activist who used to work for the downtrodden, especially the black people, and who wanted to do something to uplift them. Okay, he was, in fact, why I like him is he used to follow the principles of Gandhi, Mahatma Gandhi. He was a ahimsa, a non-violent person. And like Mahatma Gandhi, he also got assassinated. That's the similarity between them. But he won a Nobel Prize for his lot of work towards the downtrodden. Now, this gentleman, his name is, as I told you, Martin Luther King Jr. He once said, in one of, I used to read a lot of books about him, and in one of the books he had written, if you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then at least crawl. Whatever you do, what you have to keep moving forward. This I felt was something which I need to tell all the students, that you have to do something in your life. You have to do something and keep moving forward in your life. There is, in fact, I've come across many people who keep telling excuses. They say that, oh, I don't want to do this. I can't do this. I am late at this thing. I am sick. I am not well. You should never procrastinate. You, from now on, you understand that whatever you do, you have to keep moving forward in your life. That is the first and the foremost thing that you have to do. As I said, you have just about 4 or 5 months, then you are no longer a school student. Now, all these days, you have been protected. Protected by whom? Protected by your parents, protected by your teachers, taken care of by them. They have all been taking care of you. You have been well taken care of. Now, what is going to happen is you are not going to move out of the school. When you go out of the school, you have to start taking responsibilities. You have to start doing something where you have to start thinking as to what needs to be done. You have to settle down in life. You have to get married. You have a children. You have all sort of responsibilities are going to come up. So the 17 years when your school is going to end is the end of what I'll say is a carefree sort of a life. After that, there's a lot of responsibilities that you need to take. Now, why I'm trying to tell you all these things again is something like, I normally try to say, when I was of your age, I never had these sort of opportunities. I didn't know what to do. In fact, I remember my dad used to say, why don't you become a doctor? When I took science, I can tell you something. I was totally scared of blood. I cannot dissect animals. No, it's not possible. But how can I become a doctor? I couldn't become a doctor. I tried medicine. I didn't get it. Then I didn't know what to do. At that point of time, somebody told me what I should be doing, and then thereafter everything went on well. So at least I had one person lucky enough to come and advise me what I should be doing. You people are lucky. You have people, you have the internet to browse, you have people to talk to, you have people like us who can consult and then decide what you want to do. Please pursue something you like. That's very important. Do not go by what, for example, if your friend says that I want to become a lawyer, you also don't try to become a lawyer. That's not this thing. You have to have an individuality. That is how you have to go about with it. Now, if let us say I hear somebody saying, very good, sir, very nice to hear, but what should I do? The first thing that you should do is you have to sit down and start your planning. You have to sit down and plan. You have to sit with your counselors, your teachers, your parents, your well-wishers, your friends, your maybe people like us, and then decide to do what you want to do in future. See, let me tell you something. I'm sure that in this group, there may be a lot of people who would have gone on some holiday to Europe, holiday to Singapore, holiday to India, or some place they would have gone on a holiday. What does your father do? Your father does not come from office one day and then say, come, let's take a bag and let's go. He doesn't do like that. He sits down and plans. He sits down and plans it for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, where to go, which place to visit, who are which flight to take, which visa to take. All planning takes place for just for a mere travel or for a leisure travel from on a holiday. Now, what are we going to do? It's our life. Isn't it important that for our life, should we not be sitting down and planning? So therefore, what I think you should do is, first thing that you should do is, you should start deciding what you want to do. People spend more time planning their vacation, but they hardly spend time for their planning for their own career. This is the first thing that you start to do. Fine, you want to plan your career. What is it that you're planning? I want to become successful. You are all planning. All of us want to be successful in life. Tell me, is there anybody in the world who says that I don't want to be successful? No, everybody wants to be successful. For becoming successful, there are certain qualities that you need to imbibe. There are certain qualities that can make sure that you have those things so that you can go through the path of success. Success is not something that you simply get it. You have to have an inborn quality. What are those qualities? Some of the qualities, let me give you an idea of what are the qualities that you should be looking at. What are the traits for success? You need to have talent. All of us have talent. Let me tell you, there's nobody in the world. Some have talent in singing, some have drawing, some have writing, some have storytelling. Somebody may have good in accounts, somebody good in maths. So all of us have some talent. You have to identify what your talent is. What is it that you like the best? So you have to understand what your talent is. Once you have the talent, start building on that. What is your ability to build on your talent? Once you build on your talent, very important, passion and knowledge. Passion is something that whatever you do it with a lot of interest and passion. If you have no passion in whatever it is, every work should have a lot of heart in whatever you're trying to do. So do it with a passion. Build up a knowledge of whatever you want to do. And nothing comes without hard work. Hard work, there is nothing called free lunch in the world. Everything there is you have to earn it. You have to work towards it. You cannot say that I don't want to work hard. There are nobody in the world who has not worked hard for whatever they are today. You have to work hard. So that is another quality that you have to build up. Whatever said and done, all these qualities, there are two important qualities that you have to build. One is the right attitude and the right discipline. I'm sure that students of this school, I don't have to talk to them about the discipline and all those things. You make sure that you have the right attitude to whatever you want to do. Look at any successful person in the world, anybody in the world, right from our past president, Mr. Abdul Kalam, or let us say even to today's person, Virat Kohli, who is one of the greatest batsmen today. Look at any great person in the world. Think of anybody. He will have all these talents. Take Virat Kohli, for example. Talent, ability, passion. Have you seen his eyes? He is always killing for victory. He wants to do something in his life. That's how it is. Knowledge of the game, hard work. How many of us know that he gets up at 4 o'clock in the morning every day and starts his practice, goes to the gym. All this, he works like anything. Right from 4:30 in the morning, he does it. That is the hard work that he has done. That's where it has brought him to. Attitude. His attitude and discipline. Do you know at the age of 14, he decided that his parents told him, look, you're playing well, you have to play for the country. Ever since that, he doesn't take sweets, he doesn't take oily food, he doesn't take ice creams. All these things is a no-no for him. Why? Because he knows that these are things that are not going to help him as far as career is concerned. That is how he has built up his discipline. Therefore, you can look at it, anybody in the world. As I said, Abdul Kalam or let us say A.R. Rahman, who's a great music, anybody, world top person, you'll always find a person who will have all these qualities. My dear children, what I'm trying to tell you is, all of us, whether it's your principal or your teachers or whoever it is, would like to see that students doing very well in their life. You also want to do very well in life. Make sure that you imbibe all these qualities so that you become successful in life. Let's stop at this and let me go to the next topic. The next topic, you have to always understand that, remember something, that only in the dictionary you will find success coming before work. Otherwise, it's work and then only you will have to get success. Therefore, make sure that you do well and get your success. Now, let's go to the next one, which is more relevant to what I want to talk to you today. You are all students of commerce. Commerce students who will be taking up the 12th standard and all those things. And I have been telling you that you have to sit down and plan, and also told you that you have to try to take whatever which is of interest to you. Okay, let's look at 6 or 7 various career options that are available for a typical commerce student. One thing I always tell is the opportunities that are available for commerce students is extremely widespread. They can take a lot of anything, any of these, whichever is to their liking. A science student invariably land up with maybe a engineering or a doctor or something like that, maybe a computer engineer. But the fact as a commerce students, you have wonderful opportunities of looking at various other opportunities as far as your career is concerned. Let's look at a few. See, what I do is I visit a lot of schools. And when I visit a lot of schools, I interact with a lot of students. And on an average, let me tell you, on average, about 3,000, only this year I've not been able to travel. Otherwise, I travel. Okay. About 2,000, 3,000 students I interact. They keep writing to me. They ask me a lot of questions and all those things. One of the most important factors that many of the students they say is, sir, when I ask them, what do you want to be after what do you want to do after your 12th? What are you planning to do after your 12th? The most important, many of the students, they say that, sir, I want to do post-graduation, become an MBA. They want to become an MBA. What is MBA? Many students are not aware. Okay, MBA, they know is something which is very good. And they would have heard a lot of people who are MBAs who have done really well in their life and all those. You have to understand it's a master degree. It's a master's in business administration or business management. You have to do that maybe after your graduation, after your undergrad, you have to get into MBA. Now, I've got a couple of things to say as far as MBA is concerned. All said and done, there is no question that most of the MBAs are successful people. What are the 2 things which you need to understand? First and the foremost, please understand. MBA today is being offered by almost every institute, whether they started today, whether they start other courses or not, they start an MBA course. All small institutes, small colleges, institutions, everybody have what is called an MBA. Please remember that there's no point in getting and joining this MBA and doing an MBA from this. First, you have to remember that you should go and get into the top business schools. Which are the top business schools? The top business schools are, let us say, in India, I can tell you that the IIM, the ISB, the Bajaj, the FMS, the MDI, or the XLRI. These are the top rung MBA schools. You should have an objective of getting into these schools, not into some altu-faltu institution who does an MBA. That should not be your aim. Therefore, you have to start preparing while you're doing your graduation to get it right, your CAT examination, get a high percentile, and then move into these sort of a good business schools. That should be your primary aim if you want to do MBA. The second very important thing that I tell you is, you have to do specialization. MBA without specialization is not up to that real value. You have to do some specialization. For example, which engineering plus MBA, of course, you cannot do engineering, but you can still do certain other, let us say you look at becoming a lawyer, or you want to do a journalism, or you want to do a media. Do those specialization and also do your MBA. That has a lot of great value. An MBA alone, as far as your future is concerned. I'll give you one. I don't know, of course, all of you would have heard about Harvard Business School. All of us, at least we may dream to get into Harvard Business School, one of the top schools in the world. Now, this top school in the world, do you know who is the dean? The dean of the school recently was in the newspaper, was a gentleman called Srikant Datar. Srikant Datar is the dean of the school. Now, what is he? He is a specialist. He is a chartered accountant who is specialized. And then he did a couple of MBAs, and he also did some courses in statistics and all those. But
581.
specialist in some field. It is MBA. Now he is heading what is called the Harvard Business School. So you look at any great person who would have become a big man as an MBA, who would have this thing, he will always be a specialist and an MBA. So you always try to do specialize something and then become an MBA. But becoming an MBA is a good option for you to start looking at after maybe over a period of next 5 to 6 years time. So that's the first option that I would rather recommend for students who have interest in business management and getting into top rung as far as organizations are concerned. Law is another very popular this thing. I don't know how many of you are interested in law, especially if you are a person who can talk well, who can articulate well, who can argue well, who can put your points across well, who is somehow who is able to convince people very well. These are the students who think they are good enough. I can look at law, especially people who are having some logical thinking. They know how to present certain things and all this. Law is a wonderful thing. Many of us think that law means civil law and criminal law. Please understand, law has extremely wide branches, like taxation laws, you have arbitration laws, you have civil rights law, you have real estate laws, you have intellectual property law, all these sort of branches of law. So you can look at what is of interest to you. If you think that you are very good in arbitration, or if you are very good in, let us say, civil rights, environmental, and all those things. So these are things that you can look at as a lawyer. Now, how do you become a lawyer? There are certain examinations which you have to write after your 12th standard. I don't know how many of you have heard about an examination called CLAT. C-L-A-T, CLAT. CLAT is a common law aptitude test. You write this exam. Normally exams take place in the month of May. You write this exam, get a high percentile, and try to get into the top law schools in India or abroad. In India, you have about 20 national law schools. Try to get into that school. It is an integrated program, 5 years, graduation, then first year of general law, and then the last year of specialized law and all those things. Extremely prestigious, well recognized, and that is one thing that you can look at as one of your options. In law is the second option. It's very popular with the commerce students. The third and the fourth that I'm going to list out are something to do with accounting lines. Okay, accounting, if you are good, normally commerce students, they try to get into accounting and all those, accounting, finance, auditing. These are the lines which are the very popular as far as the commerce students are concerned. I have brought 3 and 4. There's a slight difference between the item number 3 and item 4. Item number 3 is degree with CA, ACCA, CIMA. That is, as you do your graduation, you also study for chartered accountancy or ACCA. You do it along with the graduation. The other one is to complete your graduation for 3 years and then do certain courses in accounting line and all those things. Both ways are possible. You can do that. But accounting line, I will talk about it slightly later, especially about ACCA and chartered accountancy later. But this is another wonderful field. And I can tell you, every organization wants an accountant. Therefore, there is never ever a situation where accountant is not required. Therefore, so this is one area where you will find there's a lot of opportunities that are available as far as your career prospects are concerned. So I will talk more about ACCA and CA subsequently. But remember that you have an opportunity to do chartered accounting related career after your 12th standard. Civil services, not very popular with students who are from the Middle East. Okay, not very popular, but students in India, there are many people who think that they want to do write an IAS examination, become a collector, become a government officer, become very, very prestigious, very, very respectful. And I can tell you that if you become an IAS officer, nothing like that. The prestige, the money, the respect that you get. There may be some stories about some IAS officers getting into all sort of wrong this thing. But 90 to 95% of IAS officers are very, very respectable persons. You have that particular opportunity to do IAS, IFS, and all those things. Indian Foreign Services, if you have a plan for languages and all the, especially foreign languages, it is something that you can look at. This is something which is an excellent opportunity, this thing, especially if you are interested to do something for the society, do something good for the people, do something good for the overall. Let us say I want to bring something as I want to contribute for the well-being of the country, well-being of the people. IAS is an excellent opportunity for you to get into it. This is another field where you have to look at as one of the opportunities. The next one that I want to talk about is journalism, communication, advertisement, media. This is another area which you probably can look at. Now, these are the fields which you can look at. For example, if you are very good in art, if you are a good artist, good in, let us say, creative thinking, you know how to probably present certain things in a very creative manner. You can write well. You can describe certain things very well. Journalism, communications, visual communication, your media communication, your advertisements, whether it's television advertisements or let us say internet advertisement, whatever advertisement you want to get into it. This is another beautiful area. Lot of opportunities are there, lot of requirements are there, and there are many good academic institutions are there who prepare you for these sort of a thing. And you can do a lot of. If you couple this with, as I told you earlier, with an MBA, nothing like that. Nothing like that. Okay, this is something that you can look at. Again, go back to what I said. What is that kindles you? What is it that is of interest to you? Look at that. If you think that advertisement, media is something of interest, look at that. The other one that I would like to look at is economics. Economics is again my personal liking. I like economics very well. Right? Economics, and you can find some really great economists. Manmohan Singh, Muntek Singh Ahluwalia, Subramanya Swamy. All these people are great economists. Raghuram Rajan. All these people are great economists. Okay, very, very knowledgeable. The knowledge that you get from economics is phenomenal. And what are the scope? All these big institutions like World Bank, Indian Institutional Finance Company, any company in the world, any government organization in the world, they want economists. They want economists. You can study in London School of Economics, Delhi School of Economics, do your post-graduation in economics, do your PhDs in economics and all those things. And this is another extremely great opportunity thing. If you like economics, you would have covered some economics in your 12th standard and all those things. This is the thing that those subjects are quite, if you are liking and all those things. Economics is another great opportunity that you can look at. Very respectable, very, opportunities for traveling all over the world, especially if you are looking for opportunities in other countries, government sectors and all those things. The last one which I would like to tell you is about actuarial sciences. I don't think many people would have heard about it. Actuarial sciences is something, although there's the word science, actually applicable for anybody who's good in maths and statistics. If you're good in maths and statistics, actuarial sciences is another very, very, very niche career opportunity that is there. What is this actuarial science? Let us understand. Actuarial science actually deals with evaluating the risk and maintain stability of insurance companies, financial institutions, and it anticipates the future events to take precautionary measures. Now, this is many of even big companies, they want somebody to advise them. What are the evaluating risks that are there? How do I carry my company forward? All those things are, so many organizations, big corporates, the insurance companies, they want people who have knowledge of actuarial sciences. What is where do I go and study? There is an institute called Institute of Actuarial Sciences in Pune. And they conduct, integrate. Now there are many universities who also do it. This is another great opportunity, especially if you are good in science, statistics, logical reasoning, logical thinking, and all those things. You will find this to be a very interesting opportunity. See, as far as commerce students are concerned, there are many other opportunities. Hospital management, hospitality industry. Okay, you have there are a lot of opportunities are there. In fact, if you list out, I can list out another 3 or 4 more. What you have to do is important for you to decide based on what you think that you are good enough. So you have to look at yourself to decide what you want to do. So these are some of the options which I feel that you students should be knowing much, and you should be doing a lot of research and to get into one of these courses and becoming successful. Let me tell you, before I go to the next slide, I want to caution you. Another thing, when I ask a person, what do you want to do? Sir, I want to do BCom. I want to do BBA. BCom, BBA are not professional courses. It is just one stepping stone to go to become a professional. Therefore, do not say that I want to study B. You don't say. It is like asking a 10th standard student, what do you want to do? I want to do 11th standard. What do you want to do after 11? I want to do 12th standard. It doesn't make any sense when you say I want to become a graduate. You have to look at some professional courses. Therefore, never ever say what do you want to do after 12th? BCom. You always say what you ultimately want to become. I want to become a lawyer. I want to become an accountant. I want to become a journalist. I want to become an economist. So that should be your aim. This degree, BCom, BBA, and all those things are just stepping stone towards that. Ultimate goal is that. That is how you should look at it. Never say that I want to do a BCom. You say that, yeah, I'm going to do BCom, but my aim is to become a journalist. That should be how you should be telling yourself. Okay. Therefore, it is because this is something which I keep on asking when they say I want to do a BCom. I immediately feel that they should not be looking at BCom as one of their objectives. BCom is just a stepping stone to become something else. Okay, so let's look at. I've just given you a broad idea about what are the various options. Okay, now let us go to specific relating to accounting. You students, especially when students who are in the Middle East, they always have this confusion. What is ACCA? What is CA? Both have this word CA along with that. So what is the difference between ACCA and CA is one of the questions that I'm again and again posed with. Okay. In fact, I've given a YouTube presentation also on that, but let me give you an idea about that. See, ACCA is one of the very popular professional accounting certification today. It is done by an institute in the UK. It's a UK qualification. It's on accounting. CA is an Indian qualification done by the Institute of Chartered Accountants, India. So ACCA is of the UK, CA is of India. So these are the two differences. First difference that you have to understand. Let's look at the other differences for ACCA and CA are concerned. ACCA consists of 13 papers. CA consists of 20 papers. So therefore, what happens is if you want to become a qualified ACCA, you should complete 13 papers. And if you want to become a CA, you have to write 20 papers. Now, ACCA is divided into 3 levels. The 2 levels, one level is 2 levels, fundamental level and the professional level. So you have 9 papers in fundamental level and about 4 papers in the professional level. CA consists of 3 levels: foundation, intermediate, and final. These are 3 levels as far as chartered accountancy is concerned. In ACCA, the first 9 papers are computer-based examinations. And therefore, you have to sit in the terminal and answer the questions and all those things. But the rest 4 are paper-based. Whereas chartered accountancy, all papers are all 20 papers, it's a paper and pen examination. So next is, there's a minimum eligibility. You should be a minimum 60% in English, maths, or any other core subject, accountancy, and all those things to join ACCA. Okay, but in CA, anybody who is a 12th standard pass can join. A minimum 12th pass is required. You can get into CA even if you are basic. Here, you need some minimum mark as far as your joining ACCA is concerned. In ACCA, there is one difference. ACCA, you can do also 13 papers of studies and then do what is called an internship. See, what happens is when you complete your 13 papers of ACCA, you are called what is called a licentiate of ACCA. It means that you have just completed 13 papers of ACCA. Okay. Therefore, but you need to have 3 years of work experience to call yourself an associate member of Chartered Certified Accountant. So to become an ACCA, you need the papers plus 3 years of work experience. So it can be a full-time study with internship after studies as far as ACCA is concerned. In CA, internship is a part of that study. If somebody says I'm a chartered accountant, he has already completed 3 years of internship. It means only after you complete your internship can you write your final exam in CA. So it's a part of your study. In ACCA, it's one after other. Here it is combined. That's another difference. But the other two, this has quarterly exams. Every quarter you have an exam. ACCA every March, June, September, and December you have exams for ACCA. These have exams only in May and November, 2 exams. But the most important point is the next point. The most important point is exams in ACCA, you can take each subject at a time. You can write one exam in March, one in June, one in September, one in December, like the one paper, you can keep completing it. Comparatively less strenuous and flexible. CA, it's not like that. That's one of the reasons why many people are scared of chartered accountants, because you have to write 4 or 8 papers in one sitting. What does it mean? If I take 4 papers in one sitting, I have to clear all the 4 papers in that exam. I have to pass paper 1, paper 2, paper 3. Let us say I fail in paper 4. I have to again write paper 1, paper 2, paper 3, paper 4. So that is much more difficult. But I can tell you, if you are a good student, committed, passionate, hardworking, you can complete all 4. Why? You can complete 8 papers in one sitting. I completed 8 papers in one sitting, both in interim and final. Okay, so then I can do. Why can you not? I've got in my academy students, almost 80% of my students, they take both 8 papers in one sitting and clear 8 papers in one sitting. So it can be done, but it's slightly more tricky. Okay, therefore CA is. Therefore, many people say, "Oh, CA is very difficult." Okay, but CA can be done when people can like me can do it. I was a very average student. Let me tell you something. At this point of time, as far as my school is concerned, I was not a brilliant student in school. I was an average student. We had about 25, 30 students in our class, like how you have. Out of 25 students, my rank will be 13, 14, 15, something like that. Not a topper, not a duffer also. Okay, average. But let me tell you, this is the time, once you go out of your school, this is the time when you have to decide, as I told you in the beginning, this is a make or break situation. The next 5 years, what you have to do is what is going to determine your life. If somebody told me this, I am telling you this. Next 5 years of your life is going to be critical as far as your progress is concerned. You waste these 5 years, you waste your entire life. If you make use of these 5 years, I can tell you that the next, your life can be much more productive and can be much more useful. So do not think that, oh, I am an average student. Can I do this? Don't think that. You can do it. Please understand there's nothing that you cannot. Human beings can do everything. So coming back to this, ACCA and CA, these are some of the differences between ACCA and CA. Very good. I have understood what is the difference between ACCA and CA. Sir, but if I complete ACCA, will I get a job? How will I get a job? Do you think it is possible? Will an employer consider ACCA better or CA better? So that is another point you have to remember. Many people say, I want to do ACCA, I want to do ACCA. But do the employers recognize ACCA more or CA more? This you have to understand, which probably you have to understand in the next slide. The difference between ACCA and CA as far as employers are concerned is, ACCA is very, very limited recognition in India. CA, most sought after qualification in India. But ACCA is very well recognized outside India in about 170 countries, and it is truly called as the most, it's an international qualification. It's limited recognition only in the Middle East countries and some African countries. So it's not very well recognized outside India, but most well recognized in India. ACCA, limited recognition in India, very well recognized outside India. So these are the opposite differences you have to understand. Why I'm trying to tell you this is because you have to decide where you want to go. If you say that I want to settle down in India, I want to work in India, better you do chartered accountant. No, sir, I don't. I want to work outside India only. Maybe I'll go to Europe, I'll go to US, or I may go to Middle East and work somewhere there. Then ACCA can be a better option. So it all depends on what you want. Why is it so? Because ACCA covers UK taxes, CA covers Indian taxes. Now, Indian tax and Indian laws are very, very complicated. It's the most complicated in the world. If chartered accountants, if you are a chartered accountant, you are an expert in taxes and laws as far as Indian taxes are concerned. But if I go to an employer in India and then say, sir, I'm an ACCA, sir. Do you know GST? No, sir, I don't know. Do you know customs duty? No, sir, I don't know. Do you know excise duty? No, sir, I don't know. But I know UK tax, sir. What am I going to do with UK tax when you know UK? I want all these things to know. So therefore, a chartered accountant would have done all these things. ACCA does not know. So therefore, an Indian employer looks for a chartered accountancy. But outside India, all other countries have a comparatively simpler tax and simpler laws. In many of the Middle East countries, there are no taxes at all. Therefore, it is easy to, for them, it doesn't make any difference. Therefore, ACCA is more recognized outside India, and in India, ACCA is not recognized. Internship is not mandatory for acquiring. That's what I told you earlier. You have to acquire a qualification. Internship is mandatory. Why I'm trying to tell you this is, if you are a ACCA and I am a chartered accountant, if both of us go for an interview and say I'm a chartered accountant, the man will immediately, oh, this guy is a chartered accountant. He has 3 years of work experience. What are you? ACCA, 13 papers you have passed. Where is your work experience? No, sir, I don't have any work experience. Then they will not recognize you. Therefore, once you pass your 13 papers, you have very limited recognition. You have to get the 3 years of work experience in ACCA. CA is not like that. You can practice in anywhere in the world as far as ACCA is concerned. CA you can practice, only CAs can practice in India and sign financial statements and all those. These are some of the differences between ACCA and CA which you need to know and decide what you want to do as far as your career in accounting is concerned. Now, fine, sir, I have decided to do ACCA, sir. I'm going to work abroad and I'm going to do ACCA. Therefore, this is what I want. Now, when you take a decision like this, immediately the next question will come, do I have to do ACCA in India or can I do it in Middle East? This is another question that keeps coming up again and again. Because ACCA is an international qualification. As an international qualification, you can sit in London and do it. You can sit in Singapore and do it. You can sit in Riyadh and do it. You can sit in Dubai and do it. You can sit in India and do it. You can sit in Sri Lanka and do it. Wherever you can go sit and write the exam. Therefore, many people think, should I go to India to study it or can I continue to be in wherever in my let us say Riyadh or Jeddah, wherever I can stay there and then study my ACCA. Now, how do you decide what is to be done? First and the foremost, please understand, you have to understand certain factors. What are the factors? First is, please understand, in India, you will find professional tutors taking ACCA in India. They are full-time tutors. They are all experts. They will come and take classes for you. In Middle East, whatever I have seen, I have always seen the students tutors who come and take classes in the Middle East are all working professionals. They are already working somewhere. They are employed in some company. They come and take classes in the evening. They are not full-time tutors. Therefore, to that extent, their commitment to teaching is less. In your school, you will find all your teachers are full-time teachers. So the commitment is very high. But when you come to ACCA, you will find that students, the teachers who are there are all working professionals. Therefore, you cannot expect that extent of commitment from them as you find from professional full-time teacher. So this is one factor that you have to consider. The higher level of ACCA is available in India, very limited. I have seen only in Dubai there is some classes for the higher level classes, and not in many other, even in Middle East countries, the professional level classes are not conducted at all. Therefore, you have to go out of your Middle East to do your higher level exam preparation and all those things. Class timings, because they are professional teachers, it will be full day classes. In Middle East, because they are all part-timers, the classes will be only in the evening or during the weekends and all those things. So what happens? Because of that, the completion of the syllabus is much faster in India. It takes extended period in the Middle East. You have to understand, there's nothing right and wrong in the whole thing. These are the factors. If, for example, I think that I am okay with a non-professional teacher, I don't mind having classes only in the evening, I don't mind taking my own time to complete the classes and all those things. You can very well do it in Middle East. There's nothing wrong. I'm not saying this is right and this is wrong. I'm only saying that these are the two factors. You have to understand which one will fit you. If you think that this is better, you go for that. If you feel that is better, you go for that. Student mix. In India, you'll find most of the students who are attending the classes are full-time students. However, in the Middle East, you'll find a heterogeneous. You'll have students who are students, working class, housewives, multinationals, all of them sitting in the class. It is okay means it's okay. If you are comfortable with that, no problem. It all depends upon how comfortable you are to decide where you want to do. So these are some of the chapter points that you have to understand whether you want to do it in India or in the Middle East. Okay. Now, having completed ACCA, I want to just give you a small, maybe, I don't know, out of this batch of 20, 25 students, how many of you are interested to do chartered accountants? I don't know. Okay. But the minute I say chartered accountancy, many people will say, no, I don't want to do it. I am scared. People say it's very difficult. That's how they are. Therefore, I'm not going to do CA. I want to break certain perceptions. I always say CA is perceived to be a difficult exam. It is actually, all exams are difficult. There is no exam which is not difficult, whatever course you do. But there is a conception, there is a thinking that CA is very difficult. You have to understand why people say CA is very difficult. You have to understand certain things. If you understand that and then you decide you don't want to do it, I am not forcing you to do it. I am only trying to tell you what are the things that you have to understand. First and the foremost, you have to understand that it is a mind block that has been created by unsuccessful students. People who have not been able to complete chartered accountancy keep going around and say CA is difficult. You go and talk to any person who has completed chartered accountancy. You will always say, yes, the exam is difficult, but if you have the commitment, if you have the hard working capability, if you have the focus, it can be done. And I can do it, why not you? That's how everybody will say. So CA can be done. It's only these people who have not completed, they go around talking. Why do they say like that? You have to understand that because they have come in without any commitment. They don't have any, they have not, would not have put in hard work. They would not have had the passion to do it. They just come in to, let me do CA like that. Those people will never complete it. You have to come with a lot of passion. Okay. There is no entry level. I told you for CA, anybody can join. So people, what they do is, in fact, many people who do not get admission in engineering, in medical, they come to me and then say, sir, I want to do CA. No, how do you think that this person, they have no commitment at all. They have tried somewhere, they have not got it. Do you think they'll be able to do this? It is not possible. Therefore, what happens? You need that commitment. Everybody gets into it. There's no entry level barrier. Therefore, what happens is many people do not clear. Because they do not clear, people say it's very difficult. But if you have the focus, you can do it. The other thing that people say is, point you have to understand is CA is mostly a self-study program. Why I'm trying to tell you this is, you go, engineering college is there, dental college is there, veterinary college is there, music college is there, all colleges are there, journalism colleges are there, but you will never find a college for CA. CA, there's an institute, academies are there. If you want to join, if you don't want to, you don't want to. So it's a self-study. Therefore, there's a lot of personal commitment is required. Therefore, if you have a commitment, join. If you don't have a commitment, don't get into it. Therefore, it is because there's absence of colleges, this thing, and there is no systematic, it's one of the least expensive programs. CA, let me tell you, why I'm trying to tell you this is, it's because it's least expensive, many people get in, but they don't have interest. Therefore, if you have commitment, you can finish. Please decide whether you want to complete the course or you don't want to complete, and only with that commitment, you have to join. Now, why I'm trying to say this is, there's a lot of demand for chartered 35 years ago. Maybe 35 years ago, when I wanted to become a chartered accountant, one person came and told me, you do CA. My father was a cost accountant. Huh? He was from London cost accountant. So my father also said, you study CA. So why should I see CA? CA, you'll always get a job. There is no unemployed chartered accountant. Wherever you go, you'll get a job. Today, after 35 years, I'm again telling you, the demand for CAs are up by 37%. You can find an unemployed engineer. You can find an unemployed, even underemployed doctors. Okay, all those or unemployed computer specialists. But you will never find an unemployed chartered accountant. There's always a demand. So if you want to get into it, do this course, complete it with a commitment. Then I can tell you, your life is made. That's it. That's how it is. Now, I don't know whether I'll very quickly run through what we are and all those things. I don't want to do much of publicity about it, but let me tell you, I'll just take a couple of minutes. Grey Matter Academics, I am the founder director of this academy. Okay, when after about 30 years of work experience in various industries, I decided that I have to do something for education, and I came into it. We have this academy with a lot of difference. You have to understand what is the difference. Our academy is exclusively for students who come from outside Chennai, who come and want to study chartered accountancy. So you will find most of my students are from Middle East, 70% of the students. I do have students from Bangalore, Kochi, your Kerala, this thing, Hyderabad and all those things, but most of them come from outside Chennai, from Middle East. Okay, it's for students who complete the board exam to do chartered accountancy in ACC along with graduation. And it is for parents who want their wards to study in India, but do not intend to relocate to Chennai. They cannot relocate because their jobs are there. They cannot come to CA. You have to do only in India. If you want to do it in India, then how will the parents come? Therefore, they say, you go and study. Then how will they send? They have to have some sort of a place where they can come and study. Especially if your parents are looking for personalized and parental attention. We take only 40 students in a year. That's all. We want to train 40 students and make them complete their course. That's our intention. So there's a high level of personal interaction will be there. Okay, and this thing is we have a hostel arrangement, very comfortable stay and all those things we provide. So if there is any chartered accountant, any person who wants to become a chartered accountant, then probably you can ask your parent or somebody to get in touch with them. Okay, we follow 5 basic pillars. Pillar is, as I told you, we have 1:50. In fact, actually, it's 1:40 student to tutor ratio. We do not change it because we know that there should be close interaction. Why I'm trying to tell you is you can find a lot of institutions in India who prefer chartered account take classes for CA. We'll have 300 students, 500 students, 700 students, and all those. We strictly follow 1:50. School study is different, professional study is different. We slowly move them from a school type. In school, what happens is a lot of hand holding, spoon feeding, everything will be there. There's a lot of attention will be there. So we slowly move them from a school study to a professional study. It's a slow process that is being done. The other thing is we complete the entire course, right from the foundation to the final. Many institutes don't do that. They only take students for only one single level and all those things. Okay, I don't want continuous hand holding, mentoring, support if required for multiple attempts until the student acquires qualification is our responsibility. We take care of all those things. And the last one is, somebody says, do you guarantee result? We guarantee result provided you guarantee commitment and hard work. You are willing to listen to what we say, I can tell you that you will complete chartered account. But if you don't listen to us, you don't put in hard work, I can't guarantee anything. So everything is in your hand. We only facilitate the entire process. Therefore, we guarantee success, provided you guarantee commitment and hard work. Okay. Now we have 2 courses. One is a chartered accountancy course and an ACCA course. Okay. It's a 5-year course. This is a 3-year course. Okay. And the last one is eligibility. We don't take every student. We take only selected students. The eligibility for joining our academy is you should be capable of scoring more than 90% in CBSE. If you are capable of scoring more than 90% in CBSE, only then we take. Otherwise, yes, tough. Therefore, we cannot take, and we take only 42 students. So we have some cutoff mark and all those things. And if it is for ACCA, the cutoff mark is 80%. So if you are a student of 90% or 80% and you want to do ACCA or CA, then you can ask your other thing. With this, I would like to wind up my talk. Okay. So I hope that whatever I said has been of some use to the students, and I would now leave it to the audience or to the participants to pose your questions on anything, ACCA, CA, other studies and all those things. As far as you are concerned, you can pose in your questions either through chat or through oral this thing. There is one question somebody was asked me, what is better after BBA Aviation? See, BBA Aviation is something that obviously you have to get into the airlines industry, obviously. Okay. Now, if you ask me, you have to perhaps pursue your this thing in the master's. BBA is the bachelor's is don't consider that as a big study. It is not of you look at something beyond this. So try to get into aviation today. Apart from this thing, is ground handling requirement, ticketing requirement, and all those things are there. So these are things that you can look at during your BBA or after your BBA. Yes. Any other question? Any question that students would like to ask? I am almost done. I'm through.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
My name is Jeffrey. I'm from 12th standard.
Jeffrey, just a minute. Jeffrey, I'm sorry, just a minute.
Okay.
Shreya?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, please.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Greetings to you all. I'm Shreya from grade 11 Commerce. Now we move on to question and answer session. Please to start.
Yeah, Jeffrey, go on.
Sir, I would like to ask, according to your experience, is it better to study ACCA in India or outside India?
Were you sleeping when I was taking the class?
No, sir. I heard what you said.
Listen. I'm not trying to make fun of you. What I'm trying to tell you is, in one of my slides, I had given what are the factors. What are the factors between studying in India and studying in outside India, in Middle East? This is what you're asking me, no?
Sir, not just Middle East. I'm talking about every abroad countries.
Any abroad country.
Yeah.
No, you have to tell me which country. See, it all depends. See, India, I can understand. You have to tell me which country you have in mind.
Sir, I'm thinking of some European countries.
See, listen. ACCA is a common examination. If you can afford to go to European country and study ACCA, nothing like that. But my personal advice is, it is very expensive. Don't go. Why do you want to go to London or Europe and then do ACCA? The cost will be prohibitive. If you are in your own Saudi and then want to do ACCA, it makes sense because your parents are also with you. There's no point in you going all the way to Europe and staying. The stay cost is very expensive. So I don't think it is worth spending so much of money to do ACCA in Europe. Okay. Therefore, you have to look at only two alternatives. Should I be in Saudi and do ACCA or India and do it? Because the exams are the same. Okay. And how you study is important. The tutor's contribution will be to the extent of 30-40%, but your contribution 70%. Maybe in Europe, the 30% can be 35% or maybe 40%. But in India, it can be 30%, in Saudi, it can be 20%. So therefore, your contribution is more important. Therefore, just for the sake of just slightly better this thing, don't spend your money to go to the Middle East. This is my advice to you.
Okay, thank you.
Don't go to European countries. Yeah. Okay. Right, sir. The teachers, the counselors, if they are there, they can also pose questions, because many times the students will be coming to you to ask questions and all those things. If you have anything, that you can also pose your questions.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir. Just about the course. Minimum eligibility is 12, but recently the article says, I heard somewhere, but I don't know whether it's confirmed news or not. But it says that grade 10 is also eligible for CA. Is it so? Very recently I saw that article.
Who is asking this question?
Yeah, principal.
See, no. What CA Institute has done is something like this. The person who wants to join chartered accountants, the first level exam is called foundation exam. The foundation exam can be taken only after the student completes his 12th standard. Please understand what I'm saying. They can take the exam only after they complete the 12th exam. But they can join, enroll, and start studying for it after they complete their 10th. So therefore, they can study for 2 years, but they can write the exam only after 12th. Earlier, what they did was, about 2 months back, 1 month back, until then, you can join foundation only after you write your 12th standard exam was the rule. They relaxed it and then said that you can join even after you complete your 10th exam. But examination cannot be written when you are 11th and 12th. You have to write the exam only after your 12th board exam. Am I clear?
Yeah. Anyone else?
Good morning, sir. My name is Shreya Eugene. I wanted to ask, what would you suggest, like going for CA after 12th or after getting a basic degree?
Wonderful. This is a good question. Okay. It all depends upon the student. Okay. Now, if a student is, traditionally, when I did my chartered accountant, I did it after my BCom graduation. At that time, there was nothing called after 12th you can do. And during those days, the school did not have subjects like accountancy, commerce, and all those were not in school. They were all in college. Therefore, there was no point in doing CA after. You cannot do it after your school. But later on, the syllabus in school got added with all these sort of accountancy, economics, statistics, and all those things. So the CA Institute said that even after 12th, you can join. Now, your question is, which is better? Which is better? It depends upon the student. If you are a good student, you are capable of getting, let us say, more than 80-85% in 12th standard and all those things, then it is better that you do not get into college, straight away get into chartered accountancy. It will take about 4.5 years to complete. But if you are a slightly lesser average student, let 70, 75%, 80% and all those things, then it's better that you do BCom and then do your chartered accountancy, which will take 3 plus another 3.5, 6.5 years. Here, 4.5 years, that's 6.5 years. So if you are a good student, 85 plus student, choose after 12. If you are not, choose that. Both are routes to become a chartered accountant. Which route you take is dependent upon the student. Am I clear?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Right. Okay.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
So myself, Basim.
Yeah.
My doubt is that could you please explain more about the scope of CFA?
Course of?
Scope of CFA.
CFA. CFA is a Certified Financial Analyst. Okay. This is an American course, which normally it's a very, very good qualification. If you want to get into a job in a bank, financial institution, insurance company, what we call as banking, insurance, finance sector, BIFS, that's what we call it. So if you want to get into any BIFS sector, then you can do CFA. This is done by the institute in US. You cannot do it until you become all American courses. What requires is you need to be a graduate. Therefore, you have to first do your graduate, either a BCom or a BBA, whatever it is, and then join CFA after that. Good scope is there. In fact, you can do it, but you cannot do it after your 12th. Therefore, you can aim to become a CFA. CFA is Chartered Financial Analyst. It has 3 levels. Part 1, I think it's level 1, level 2, level 3. It will take about 2.5 years to 3 years to complete the course. Therefore, 3 years of your degree plus 3 years of this thing can make you a CFA. Okay. I would always suggest that it is better to take CFA. You finish your either ACCA or CA and then do your CFA. It will give you a much better grounding than doing. But CFA can be done only after your graduation. Is it clear? Any other questions?
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
My name is Benin, and my doubt is that many of the parents, not all, but majority of the parents says that commerce stream has less job opportunities when compared to science stream. Is that true? What's your view upon that?
Absolutely wrong. I can tell you with a great amount of this thing is the opportunities that you have. See, it all depends on what you want to do in commerce. Okay. See, you have to choose your right, as I told you, whether you want to become a lawyer or a journalist or media and all those things. Okay. There is nothing like it's a wrong thought that has been there. That science students can become successful. They have a lot of opportunity. No. Commerce students has a greater opportunity than a science student. Okay. And as a commerce student, you are what you have done is right. Okay. Now, but it all depends upon what branch you want to take. You take a good branch and then you have so much of, I gave you about 7 or 8 fields. Apart from that, other fields are also there. So you have to choose a field. Therefore, nothing to do with science and commerce. You have to choose the right field that is to your liking. Okay. And as I told you, I first, my parents wanted me to do science and become a doctor. I didn't go there because that was not my interest. I never liked it. So I moved into commerce. Therefore, it all depends on what you like. There is not, there's nothing like this has more opportunity, that this has more opportunity. Nothing like that.
Thank you, sir.
So,
yes, sir.
Which would you prefer, ACCA or CMA?
CIMA or CMA, which is the one?
CMA, Certified Management.
The CMA of the US is the examination that you're talking about. See, I will look at CMA is a two-paper examination conducted by the US Institute of Management Accounting. Okay, that can also be done after you complete your graduation. So you can take your exams, but in the second year, third year, something like that. But it is a two-paper examination. Okay, recognition-wise, ACCA has a much more wider recognition than CMA. CMA is cost management accounting. Okay, ACCA covers also cost management. It also includes CMA. There are papers on costing, there are papers on management accounting and all those things. Okay, therefore, ACCA is much more wider than CMA, but CMA is also good qualification. I'm not saying that I've got anything bad about CMA and all. The CMA is also a good qualification, but it's always better that you do between the two. Personally, I would always recommend ACCA. And after ACCA, you do CMA. CMA is a two-paper exam. You can finish in 6 months' time, 8 months' time. You can finish. So do CMA after ACCA. But don't do CMA instead of ACCA.
Okay, sir.
Right?
Thank you.
Okay. If unless there are any further questions, I think I have 4 to 10 minutes for the question and answer. My contact numbers are available both with your principal and with Ms. Asha. In case any student would still like to have any question, they can take my number and then can send me a WhatsApp or send me a mail. I will respond to any questions that you have, and I'll probably do some, if there are any very complicated questions, I'll do some research and then give you a proper answer. Achha, somebody ask me, what is the cost of the CA course? The cost of the CA course, it all depends. See, I told you it's one of the least expensive. If you decide to go to a coaching, if you want to do completely through self-study, it will cost you zero, nothing. How zero? Because the cost of examination, cost of joining, everything will be about 1 or 2 lakhs. Okay. When you do your articleship, when you do your training, you get stipend. The stipend that you get will be more than the cost that you will incur. So therefore, cost of doing CA technically is zero. Okay. But all of us, many of the students go for coaching. Therefore, the cost is involved upon why you want to go for coaching or which subject you want to go for coaching. If you want to go for coaching for all levels and all those things, depending upon the academy, for example, in our case, see, it may vary anywhere between, say, 3 lakhs to about, say, 6 or 7 lakhs. If you want to go for coaching. If you don't want to go coaching, zero. And coaching is not compulsory. It's not mandatory. It all depends upon you. So, in fact, CA is one of the very cheapest course, cheapest professional course. Yes.
Does anybody have any other question? Okay, so we'll proceed further with the program. Zareen.
Thank you, sir, for your thoughtful words. I would like to call Master Adil to deliver the word of thanks.
Honorable Principal, sir, Dr. K. Rahmatullah, our beloved HOD, Mrs. Soumya, Headmistress, Mrs. Asha Charian, all section head, coordinators, teachers, and my dear friends. Greetings to you all. I, Adil Mohammed, deem it a great honor to propose a word of thanks to all who have helped us in making this webinar such a resounding success. First of all, I would like to propose heavy word of thanks to our resource person, Mr. UN Shangaram, for gracing today's webinar. Thank you, sir, for a very interesting and thought-provoking address. I would like to express profound gratitude to our principal, Dr. K. Rahmatullah, for resourcing and getting us benefited by such an eminent and dignified personality. We are grateful to our headmistress, Mrs. Asha Charian, backing us in all the way required. I'm happy to express word of thanks to our teachers who made this webinar successful by their irreplaceable support and guidance. I would take this opportunity to thank Mr. Sheikh Ahmed sir for his technical help and bringing this valuable webinar to hundreds of students watching online. Finally, my thanks goes to all invitees and the students from different schools and countries who have turned up in such a great number. Once again, I thank all for your cordial cooperation.
Thank you, Adil.
Thanks.
Thank you.